Have you ever stopped to wonder why we don't all speak the same language? It's a question that's probably crossed your mind at one point or another. After all, wouldn't life be simpler if we could all understand each other perfectly? But what we're about to delve into isn't as straightforward as it might seem. Our world is a melting pot of over 7,000 languages, each one a unique tapestry woven with the threads of culture, history, and human ingenuity. Today, we're setting out on a journey to explore this fascinating linguistic diversity, to understand why we've ended up with a world so rich in languages. We'll be delving into the history of languages, weighing the pros and cons of a single global language, and exploring the reasons behind our multilingual world. It's a journey that promises to be as diverse and complex as the languages we speak, so buckle up. Stay tuned as we unravel the mystery behind the world's linguistic diversity. To understand why we speak different languages, we need to journey back in time. The origins of languages are deeply rooted in the annals of human history. Many scholars believe that around 100,000 years ago, humans began to develop complex languages as a means of communication. These languages were rudimentary, but they laid the groundwork for the linguistic diversity we see today. Fast forward to more ancient times, and we encounter the myth of the Tower of Babel. This tale from biblical lore symbolizes the divergence of human languages. According to the story, humanity once spoke a single language and decided to build a tower reaching the heavens. In response, a divine force confounded their speech, causing them to speak different languages and scattering them across the earth. While this is a myth, it metaphorically illustrates the dispersal and diversification of languages. In reality, the spread and evolution of languages are closely linked to human migration, isolation, and cultural evolution. As early human groups migrated, they carried their languages with them. Over time, as these groups became isolated from each other, their languages began to diverge. Just as species evolved differently in separate environments, so too did languages. The isolation resulted in unique words, sounds, and grammar structures cropping up in different regions. Moreover, cultural evolution played a significant role. Each society developed its own customs, traditions, and ways of life, which were often reflected in their languages. For instance, a seafaring society might have a rich vocabulary related to the sea, while a mountainous society might have numerous words for different types of rocks and hills. So, the development of different languages was a natural process, influenced by factors like geography, culture, and history. Just as humans have evolved, so too have our languages, branching out like a vast, intricate tree, each leaf representing a unique tongue spoken somewhere in the world. Imagine a world where everyone speaks one language. Sounds convenient, doesn't it? In such a world, the barriers of communication would crumble. Whether you're an international business person sealing a deal, a traveler exploring new horizons, or a scientist sharing research findings, a universal language could streamline your interactions. No more language classes, no more translation apps, no more misunderstandings due to language barriers. Just imagine a world connected through a single mode of verbal expression. But the convenience of a single language doesn't come without a cost. Now let's turn this coin and explore the other side. The richness of our world lies in its diversity, and language is a significant part of that. Each language is a unique window into a culture, a world-view, a way of life. It carries the history, tradition, and identity of a people. If we all spoke one language, what would become of this linguistic diversity that adds vibrancy to our world? Think about the poetry that wouldn't exist, the jokes that wouldn't make sense, the idioms and phrases that wouldn't translate well into a universal language. Think about the unique ways different languages convey emotions, experiences, and thoughts. A world with one language might be efficient, but would it be as colorful, as diverse, as rich? Moreover, a single language could also lead to a loss of cultural identity. Language is not merely a tool for communication, it's a symbol of cultural heritage and identity. When a language dies, a piece of culture dies with it. Therefore, the adoption of a single language might inadvertently erase the cultural identities of different communities around the globe. So, as you can see, the idea of a single global language is a double-edged sword. It could potentially simplify communication, but at the same time, it could also rob the world of its linguistic and cultural richness. Both the benefits and drawbacks paint a complex picture of a world with a single language. But why do we have so many languages in the first place? Well, it's a combination of factors, each as fascinating as the next. One of the primary reasons is cultural diversity. Imagine a world where everyone speaks the same language, wears the same clothes and shares the same customs. It would be a monotonous place, right? Each language is a reflection of the culture it comes from, carrying the traditions, beliefs and history of its people. It's a way for communities to preserve their unique identities and heritage. Now let's talk about geographical separations. This planet of ours is vast, with mountains, oceans and forests acting as natural barriers between human populations. These separations led to the development of distinct languages as communities adapted to their specific environments and needs. Historical events also played a significant role. Wars, migrations, and the rise and fall of empires have all shaped the linguistic landscape. When peoples move or conquer, they take their language with them, influencing the areas they settle in. Language, in essence, is more than just a tool for communication. It's an expression of who we are, a testament to our past and a bridge to our future. It's a living, breathing entity that evolves with us, reflecting our ever-changing world. So the next time you hear a foreign language, remember, it's not just words and grammar. It's a window into a whole new world, a different way of seeing and experiencing life. Our languages are as diverse as we are, each carrying its own unique story and identity. So, do you still wonder why we don't all speak the same language? We've journeyed through the history of languages, weighed the pros and cons of a singular tongue, and explored the reasons behind our linguistic diversity. Let's not forget, this diversity is not a barrier, but a bridge to a world teeming with rich cultures and unique perspectives. Different languages make our world a vibrant mosaic of cultures, each with its unique way of perceiving and expressing the world. So let's celebrate this diversity. And remember, every language has its own magic.